Okay, I wonder what's inside this memory card. I have not taken a video on it in a while, I think. But anyway, I want to talk about the Metamorphosis by Kafka. Franz Kafka. Yes, that's right. Right. Why am I so surprised? Okay, because I was thinking of like Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. So that's why I'm like, okay, I read this in college, but I remember how absurd it was. But I don't remember much of it. Like, I do remember the part where they're playing the violin and just him turning into a roach. But this time around, I'm reading it much more smarter. And maybe because I'm not reading it for school. Yeah, and I'm reading it for fun. So it's a very short book. You can finish it in one sitting, actually. But it is... What's making it quite difficult for me to read is that the sentences are running. So when you start a sentence and it runs for like, I don't know, like 5 clauses, it's you sort of lose where you are. So that I had to read it again, and then especially that I'm not reading this while it's like, you know, having peace and quiet. So anyway, I am 84%, and let me talk about what I did not remember anymore about this book. Okay, so like I said, I remember the part of him being a roach, but I don't remember that part being him waking up and immediately he was already a roach. And by the way, my eyesight is getting really, really bad. Yeah, better get my eyes checked. Okay, anyway, so yeah, he wakes up. The way that Franz Kafka also writes is so funny. Like, he's not trying to be funny, but it is coming off as funny. And okay, so he wakes up, he feels his body like it's hard, and he doesn't feel his arms and legs like 2 limbs, but he can feel like multiple small limbs moving around his body. And so the people in the house, they're like knocking on his door, checking on him because he is late for work. And he is like shocked because he can't even get out of the bed because of his situation. Like, his carapace is, I don't know, it's kind of hard to roll over and all that. But I just like how he did not even have a single thought about why did I turn into a roach and how did I turn into a roach. No question about that, which is why I find it so funny. And also when the family members like got in, saw that he became a cockroach or a roach or some kind of insect, they were like, oh, the mother freaked out, the sister too, the father as well. Like, they all were like flabbergasted at this revelation and disgusted. So they all ran out. At first they were gonna call the doctor, but then when they saw that he is not a human, I don't know, Gregor didn't even wonder how they got the doctor and the locksmith to leave and what kind of explanation they gave for them to leave. No. But the person who was really there to support him was his sister. Like, it's so funny the way it was described, how she set food at his door, and it's like the typical human food, like soup, rice, not rotten. And so when Gregor tasted the milk, he didn't like it, right? And then the sister immediately thought, okay, let me give something else. So the next time she brought food, it was like rotten cabbage leaves, cheese that has like molds and all that. And that's like, Gregor really relished that one a lot. So he basically really did transform into not just the appearance, but also the needs. His needs have adjusted to the needs of an insect, a pest, if I might say. And like, even the sister even like tried to fix up the furniture around his room and taking them out because she noticed that Gregor has been walking around and there's not much space to walk around. So she tried to take out the furniture, and like, Gregor was like pretty happy because he thought that, wow, my sister is so thoughtful, and if only I was still human and I could have told her that I was actually going to send her to the music school because she's really good at playing the violin. Yeah, but now I can't do that because I'm an insect now. So the father was now working. Okay, by the way, Gregor was the main like breadwinner of the family, and he was proud of that. He loves providing for his family. But now that he is an insect, well, he can't do that anymore, obviously. So they all, like the whole family, had to pick up random jobs. And the father, who has closed down his business years ago, he now has to work again, you know, to provide for the family. And the sister got an odd job as well, and the mother too, like she sews. Okay, anyway, so the father was not around, and the sister was like trying to move the furniture from Gregor's room to the other the other rooms in the house, so that he would be more comfortable crawling about, like going up the ceiling and all that, and, you know, just not have that limited space. And the mother was like, okay, I'll help you. But also, Gregor was like hiding under the couch in his room. Nom nom. He was hiding because he doesn't want his mom to see him. Yeah, he's not really comfortable with that. But anyway, so he was listening in to the sister and the mother talking about like how they can get this big dresser out because it's very heavy. And then the mother was like, you know what? I don't think we should even touch the furniture in his room because, you know, when he returns back to normal, then he would need all this stuff. And then Gregor was like, hey, that's a good point. You know, why was I so happy when my sister was gonna give me a comfortable space so that I can do my insect lifestyle, you know? And then he was sort of upset with him being so easily resigned to his life as an insect. But I don't know, it's just so absurd, so funny. Okay, and now, okay, so since I am around 80%, like I said, they actually have lodgers in their house right now, but these lodgers initially did not know that Gregor existed, but okay, eventually, so her sister was asked to play the violin for the lodgers, and so they did. I mean, she did. And then Gregor was like just so amazed by the music that his sister was making. And so he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go closer, okay? I'm gonna go out of my room. I'm gonna go closer to the living room and listen to my sister play this music. And he was really getting carried away, so he like crawled closer and closer. And then one of the lodgers saw him, and then all of the lodgers saw him. And then the father was like, he didn't even rush Gregor back to his room, but more so trying to gauge the lodgers and trying to keep them calm because, you know, they might panic and do something ridiculous. Oh yeah, because in the previous event, there was this part where the mother fainted when she saw Gregor for the first time in a long time. She was like wondering, what is that brown splotch on the wall when they were moving the furniture? And then she saw him, then she fainted, and then the sister got medicine, blah, blah, blah. And then the father came home and like, Gregor, what have you done to your mother? And then he tried to... That whole scene was so freaking funny, okay? So he was trying to make Gregor go back to the room. And like, one step closer, and then Gregor goes back. They're like going, like taking step by step. Like they're both... You know how when you're both scared of each other? Like, imagine being... like seeing a roach, okay? The roach is gonna go somewhere and you are also wary of where the roach is gonna go, but none of you are making the movements, sudden movements, because you're scared that the cockroach is gonna fly on your face, and the roach is scared because you might hit him with a slipper or something. Yeah, so it was like that. It was just so hilarious. And then, yeah, the lodger thing. So this is where I am at right now. By the way, look at my candle. Okay, I changed the design to this some kind of like whales, butterflies, so this blue theme. And then I added this blue pop socket. But I added also this so that it's not just a plain flower pop socket. I added this, what do they call this? I don't know. I just found it, like some charms that they have. And then it came with an adhesive sticker as well. Yeah. And also this charm that I got from the market, which was like 50 pesos. So this is my current read. So it is actually on Kindle Unlimited, but you can buy this book for I think $1.99 or $2.99, which is not bad. You know, I am really loving the e-reading lately because I don't know, it's just easier to read at night. Oh, and I'm also reading this one book in my other Kindle. So good, and I'm gonna talk about it in a different video because this vlog is for the metamorphosis. And okay, the kids have just finished their playtime, so I allow them screen time, hence why it is so noisy. Yes, but it's okay. They're happy. Alright, I'll update when I'm done with the book. Okay, just coming on quickly to say that I have finished the metamorphosis a couple of days ago, but you know, I just wanted it to simmer a bit in my brain. Okay, where did I end? I think the last thing I mentioned was about the sister playing the violin, and then suddenly Gregor was like so amazed by the beautiful melodies, so he went closer, and then the lodgers saw him and they are like, we did not know that you guys had a roach here and we are staying in this house, so we want a refund or something like that. Like, you know, like when you're in a hotel and then you see a rat or something and then you complain to the manager or something like that. So then the father tried to make the lodgers go back to their room while they handle the Gregor roach situation. And so that happened. But finally, the sister has got enough. With all the sacrifices, okay, darling, with all the sacrifices that they had to make for Gregor. Here, wait. Drink, don't play. Drink, only drink. Okay, so yeah, they're like, she was like, okay, if this is really Gregor, he wouldn't even be here anymore. Like, he knows that he is an insect and he is not being beneficial, like helpful. He's actually harmful to our family now, and like we are so demented to even think that demented probably is not the right, this illusion that we believe that Gregor is this roach. Okay, now we have to get rid of it. And then the dad was like, yeah, let's do it. And then the mom is just like quiet. But you know, I think that sort of signifies how, you know, a mother is still a mother, even if your son is a roach. And so eventually they did. They went to their rooms. And Gregor did not need to be killed because he just died on his own. No, darling. It's like, you know how when roaches have a lifespan that is shorter than humans? But also in that sense, it also seemed like he knows that he is a burden. He has realized that. And so his sadness, his being ostracized by his family sort of like made him feel bad, and eventually that led to his demise. That was the vibe that I was getting. And so it was super sad because these three people, they did not have a job when Gregor was actually working. So he's a salesman. He was providing for the family, and they were just, you know, the father quit his business. The mother was doing nothing. The sister was just busy with, I don't know, whatever she was busy with, but it wasn't, you know, to provide for the family. And when Gregor suddenly could not provide anymore, they suddenly had the energy to help out with the family. And once he wasn't being a productive member of the family anymore, yeah, he was just, you know, thrown out. And when he died, like, they weren't even that sad. Like, they were like, oh, he's gone. Like, it's almost like they were also kind of relieved that he passed without them having a hand at it, at least directly. So it's such a sad story. But overall, yes, quite. And so I get now, like, you know, the Kafka-esque kind of story wherein you just accept what is being told to you. At first it was like sort of confusing to imagine how big Gregor was as a roach, but I imagine that he is not as big as like when I read it in college at first, I thought he was like as big as a human-sized insect. That's what I thought. But no, probably not. He was a much, maybe medium, like he was described as a splotch. So not entirely big, not entirely small, but yeah, anyway, that doesn't even matter. Yeah, it left me a little bit sad for him. yeah, so anyway, I'm interested in reading The Trial. What could that be? Because I think have I read that? I have a feeling that I've read that before, but I just can't remember. Or maybe it was something else. There were tons of books back then that I read in college that I don't even remember anymore because, I was being forced to read them. And now that I'm not, maybe I would absorb the story better and the lessons and all that. Okay, that's it for this video. Goodbye.